Welcome to Tamara Tattletales. I'm Tamara, and I spill the tea on your favorite reality stars. Married at First Sight Season 13 cast member Jose. After leaving a trail of red flags throughout the season, Jose had his grand finale and threw the biggest red flags at Rachel's forehead during week 4 of their marriage by locking her out of their apartment for an entire night. So Rachel and Jose were chilling at the clubhouse in their building when Rachel mistakenly called Jose by another man's name. Jose flipped out and would not accept her apology. Well, apparently this argument went on for a while because later they are shown in their apartment where Jose is cussing Rachel out while the producer is sitting there calculating the spike in ratings they're gonna have over this drama. Rachel tells Jose, I'm not gonna let a man or anyone for that matter to curse at me and talk to me like this. So get the fuck out, Jose said. Get the fuck out, pack your bags, bounce. All right, fucking go. He's kicking her out as if it's his house and she's some cheap floozy he met at a bar. Total power play on his part. At some point, Rachel walks the producer out of the apartment and hangs out to have a conversation. So what does Jose do? He locks Rachel out of the apartment by locking the deadbolt, then goes to bed and ignores her banging on the door. The next day, we see Jose and his beard in the kitchen, stirring up his low self-esteem in a skillet, while Rachel calmly attempts to explain to him how he made her feel and try to find out why he behaved so over the top. So while she's very articulately expressing herself in full sentences, he's being all smug and short like, okay, apparently not. I don't know. I'm not gonna beg you to say, bye, Felicia. Okay, he didn't say bye, Felicia. His little ego could not admit that he did anything wrong, and he tried to flip the blame on her. I lock the door every night. I secure my property before I go to sleep. Your job is to make sure your wife is secure before you lay your head down for bed. Not to mention, it's her property too. So he's showing zero remorse for cussing his wife out and locking her out of the apartment. At one point he says, and I quote, I don't want to just say, I'm sorry, baby, and it will never happen again because I don't want you to think I'm saying it just because. And in the meantime, it's going to continue to keep persisting. Yeah, that's some dumb logic. The truth is that he doesn't want to say he's sorry because he doesn't want to admit that he was wrong. But wait, at this point, we still don't know whose name Rachel called him. I assumed it was one of her ex-lovers. No, she called him Johnny. That's right, Bao's husband, fellow castmate. For the love of Gwen Stefani, if I could reach through my TV and pop this dude in the back of the head, oh my God, I would. This man put Rachel through all these changes for a simple slip of the tongue, but his behavior is not a total surprise. Jose has given Rachel many clues. He wants to brush her teeth, control her bank account, give her an allowance, and make all the major decisions in this relationship. I believe subconsciously he feels the more dependent she is on him, the harder it will be for her to leave him in the future. And in this situation, his attitude is like a parent. My house, my rules. Oh, you gonna try and one-up me by leaving my house in the middle of the night? Fine, stay out. And locked her butt out of the house. But what I love seeing was the guys when he was trying to tell them the story about how he locked her out of the house by mistake. Jose was only telling them what Rachel did. She did this, then she did that, and now she doesn't want to be married. The guys were like, wait a minute. There's got to be more to the story because it doesn't make sense that you guys went from being crazy happy to her wanting to leave you because you locked her out by mistake. You could tell that he was expecting them to be on his side, but they weren't, and it totally backfired to the point of them actually laughing at him when Ryan told them that Rachel called him Johnny. Jose is not ready for a relationship. He needs to heal from whatever childhood wounds have caused him to feel the need to be in control and always be right. Plus, he needs to learn that apologizing is not weakness. Now, as far as Rachel, I applaud her for the way she handled herself in this situation. She stayed calm the entire time and was able to stick to her guns regardless of all the dysfunctional coping mechanisms Jose threw at her. Where I will ding Rachel is when she said she doesn't love Jose anymore and the letter she wrote. During the fight, she revealed that she wrote Jose a letter 2 weeks ago, but never gave it to him. It basically said that he is her priority, but she is her own priority too. She thought her marriage would be a planning process with her husband, yet her husband already had it all planned out for her, where they're gonna live, their bank accounts, and so forth. And at this point, she feels he's kind of controlling, which is her deal breaker. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that letter. It's great that she shared it and is communicating her feelings. What I take issue with is that she has not been genuine with her feelings. When she met with Dr. Viviana earlier that same episode, she told the doctor, "We're so happy. I mean, I'm in full trust. Like everything he says, I'm like, yeah, like we're just always on the same page." Well, based on her letter, that's not true. Even if she doesn't want to share that information with Dr. Viviana, she should have shared it sooner with Jose rather than allow him to believe she loved that part of him. If you recall the pre-wedding episodes, she said multiple times that in past relationships, she loses herself and tends to go along with her partner, even if it doesn't feel right. So the fact that she spoke up at all is growth for her, and I give her props for speaking up eventually. However, in an experiment like this, when you only have 8 weeks, not sharing that some of Jose's major character traits are deal breakers for 2 whole weeks is like an eternity. But in the end, it really doesn't matter because she needs to let him lock her out of this relationship. Jose's issues with control and low self-esteem run deep and will not be resolved under these stressful conditions. If anything, the stress from taping this show and his ego of not wanting to look bad or be wrong will only make matters worse. Even if they can make this relationship last, they shouldn't. This relationship is a thumbs down for me.